came in.
Excuse me, yes.
Yeah, Murthel had a good finish there, and that's what's going to make him do really well, because he needs to really go in there and try to overwhelm Doumbé, and that's what he did at the end here.
Yeah, my apologies. It was Groenhart landing the punches. That was the key block there from Doumbé, but you see him get caught here one more time.
Nothing really flush, but still looks like a very dominant exchange. That was the right hand. Defended the rest of the punches.
From what you can tell, what is the game plan of Cedric Doumbé right now? Does he have one?
Well, it looks like he's trying to figure it out still, and he really hasn't put any volume combinations together like we've seen in the past. I just think he's being really cautious with that awkward Murthel style.
But usually it seems like he sticks and moves, jumps inside, jumps outside. Now he comes in flying, throwing power punches.
But that's what makes Murthel very good and dangerous. I think it's a style issue.
So round 3 here. 9 minutes to go. Todd Grisham, Joseph Valtellini ringside. This is for the welterweight championship of the world. The champion Cedric Doumbé defending for the 3rd time, wearing the white gloves. Murthel Groenhart, the Predator, in the black.
Whoa!
Big Mike yelling, tripping.
Second time trip. Second time you trip. No more tripping, okay? Okay? Fighter? Ready? Here we go. Fight!
Big Mike took Murthel Groenhart under his wing as a teenager, has trained him since the beginning, and told him within the first week of meeting him, I will make you a champion one day. He's got his chance tonight.
He's doing well in exchanges. This fight is up in the air.
Whoa! Fight!
Where are the low kicks from Doumbé? There's one.
He was landing well with them. I think he's just having to respect the power and the punches of Groenhart.
Watch the pushing.
No flow to this contest at all.
They just keep crashing each other's distance, so they make it really hard for them to get any good shots off. Makes it a really scrappy, messy fight.
Doumbé is usually a rhythm fighter, finds his rhythm, gets in, gets out.
But we saw that with Nicky, because he's more of a stable fighter, one that stands there, where Murthel's moving. He'll move back, he moves forward, then all of a sudden he's jumping at you. So it's hard for Doumbé to find his rhythm.
So it's more of what Murthel is doing as opposed to what Cedric is not doing.
I believe so. That's my opinion.
Knee there from Murthel, his signature shot. Cedric Doumbé usually all smiles. He's a comedian, has done some stand-up, considers himself a jokester, but when he gets in the ring, usually he's all business.
He's going back to those low kicks.
Oh, we know that Groenhart will hit you when your back's turned. It is a defend yourself at all times sport.
Watch the grabbing, fighter. Watch the grabbing.
And the referee, Oscar Martinez, has his hands full, Joe.
Fight!
That was definitely Doumbé's fault. In the middle of the exchange, he just turned his back.
Well, Doumbé needs to be careful. Literally, these rounds could be slipping away from him. We've seen this before from Murthel Groenhart. A man turns his back and Groenhart fires away. Right there again. Your take on this, Joe?
Well, I think he thought Oscar Martinez was going to stop the fight, so he kind of turned away, but you can't rely on the referee to defend you like that. Doumbé is looking really fatigued in that corner, where Groenhart's looking a little bit more fresh.
Cedric Doumbé did admit that his weight cut yesterday was very tough for him. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Well, he is fighting on a different time zone with the travel.
So is Murthel.
Very good point.
Two Europeans fighting in the heartland of America. We're at the Windy City, or in the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, Sears Center. These are the championship rounds. We head into round 4. 6 minutes to go. Welterweight championship of the world on the line.
And it's definitely up for grabs.
Who did you give that round 3 to, Joe?
Well, I like Groenhart in it. I'm giving Groenhart the last 2 rounds. He's going for it more. He's being a little bit more aggressive.
Total strikes, though, tell a completely different story. 51-20.
Fight your way out, fight your way out.
Murthel, known as the Predator, got that nickname when his hair was much longer, had dreadlocks. They said he looked like the Predator from the movie.
Let's go, fighters, come on, fight clean.
He's kept that nickname as he stalks his prey here tonight. The best, Cedric Doumbé.
I'm starting to think it was that weight cut.
Come on up.
Another shove down there for Murthel Groenhart.
Up, come on. Fight!
Many have described Doumbé as a Picasso in the ring, Joe, but tonight he's more like a car crash.
He doesn't look himself. He definitely doesn't look himself, and I'm thinking it's the weight cut. He's not putting out that aggressive style, that movement that we've seen with Nicky, but I still think it's Groenhart's style that's really throwing him off.
A little pawing left hook from Groenhart lands.
And Murthel just has such long reach, so as Doumbé thinks he's out of the punch range, Murthel's still landing.
Off balance goes Doumbé.
Murthel's trying for that right high knee.
There's Doumbé sliding out. Wonder if that early dancing had an effect on both these guys. Tired them out.
There just doesn't seem to be a threat from Doumbé. He's not really throwing anything that's throwing Murthel off. He usually has nice uppercuts and he'll throw punches from odd angles. But there's nothing slowing Murthel from coming forward.
Well, how does this fight resemble the fight they had a few years ago?
Well, when they fought at Glory 20, it was very similar. It was a very scrappy fight like this.
Stop.
So, I don't know, it's kind of being a similar fight. One that's really hard to call.
Well, I don't think either fighter can feel very comfortable heading into round 5. All right, Joe, what would your advice be in the respective corners? Let's start first with the challenger.
Well, with his Groenhart is keep that pressure up. He seems to be doing a good job with his punches, staying long, staying active, and keep mixing in those knees. They're getting close each time he throws them. For Doumbé, he just needs more threat. He really needs to go and put something together, do something like those uppercuts and move. And like I said, if he has that energy, he's got to find it in this 5th round. Don't hold anything back. It's too close.
Is the 3rd time going to be the charm for Murthel Groenhart? It's his 3rd world title opportunity. Doumbé defending his title for the 3rd time. This is the 5th and final round. 3 minutes to go for the welterweight championship of the world.
Fight, last round, let's go.
They'll touch gloves. They didn't do so at the beginning of the fight. They'll do it now.
They've earned each other's respect.
This fight could easily be 2 rounds apiece, could be 3-1 either way. There's a high kick that looked worse than perhaps it was.
Yeah, it looked like it nicked off the glove.
Watch holding that head, fighter.
And there's the knee.
Yep, keep those up. They keep getting closer. Murthel going to the body.
You're right, Doumbé just does not look himself tonight. Just from an output perspective. Granted, he has thrown 175 total strikes compared to 105.
That was better for Doumbé because he's throwing and countering back in combinations. He's not waiting.
And the judges will also certainly notice that it's Groenhart who's been pressing the attack as well.
Well, it's the 5th scoring criteria. If they're even on knockdowns, which they are, damage looks pretty similar. Clean scoring strikes look similar. Could those flying knees from spectacular techniques be the difference? Could it be the aggressiveness? Judges are earning their money.
In the unlikely event that this is a draw after 5 rounds, they will go to an extra round.
Not in a title fight, Todd. That goes, the draw goes to the champion.
Stop.
Well, then forget what I just said.
Clean break. Come on, guys, let's go. Wait.
Both guys countering back and forth. Not much power left.
A minute to go.
Stop.
You know who Gregorian is watching in the back, the man who won our welterweight contender tournament final? I would imagine he'd want to see Murthel Groenhart win so he can get a rematch. A couple of good low kicks there, though, from the champion, Cedric Doumbé.
Doumbé's low kicks have been doing really well. Not doing much damage, but they're still landing.
We could very well see the title change hands here tonight. Doumbé, who looked untouchable against Nicky Holzken, looks beatable tonight and may have been beaten. Ten seconds to go. Another close round.
Stop. Clean break. Fight. Hey.
And that will do it. Do we have a new welterweight champion? Murthel Groenhart seems to think so. Joe, how do you have it?
Well, it's too hard for me to call, to be honest with you, but if I had to pick, I'm going to go with just that little bit of aggression by Groenhart. I mean, a lot of people say you really have to beat the champion in order to take the belt, and it wasn't really an overly decisive win, but Groenhart did control the pace, did throw, a lot of good power shots. So, it's still up in the air, but I give a slight advantage to Groenhart.
Well, hey, give Groenhart credit in the fact that he never let Cedric Doumbé get into a rhythm. Once Doumbé gets into a rhythm, he's almost untouchable, but Groenhart was able to hit him tonight. Yeah,
he landed some good punches in the exchanges. He started throwing that knee, doing very well with it. It's just a good performance. It's very messy from both sides, and I don't know, like I said, it's up in the air, Todd.
Well, either way, someone's walking out of here with the world title, and most likely they will fight Harut Gregorian next. Murthel Groenhart just beat Gregorian. As for Cedric Doumbé, hey, listen, this guy thinks he's the best, claims he's the best. Tonight was not his best performance by any stretch of the imagination.
No, he definitely has to go back and try to approach these different fights, and he just has that perfect style for Nicky, but for Groenhart, not so much.
Let's look back at some of the highlights of this welterweight championship fight. 5 rounds between the Predator and the Best.
And this whole fight was both guys having, their best at different times of the fight. Early on, it was Doumbé really trying to use his tricks and to get in the head of Murthel, but Murthel did a good job at staying relaxed, staying calm, fighting his fight. He didn't let Doumbé get in his head, and this is when he landed those good right hands in those big boxing exchanges. This was probably the best exchange of the fight. Round 3 was very similar. This is where we almost saw a replay from the Gregorian fight with Murthel. The same things continues. Is Murthel really trying? And he did find success with some of his boxing. Both guys laughing and enjoying this fight. But round 5 could have gone both ways as both guys started to pick up the pace. Doumbé going back to his low kicks.
Here are the final statistics as we start with strikes by round. And Doumbé, Joe, perhaps surprisingly, landed more strikes all 5 rounds.
Watching live, it seemed the other way to me, but Fight Metrics doesn't lie.
Strikes absorbed to the legs, 53 landed to Murthel Groenhart. And both the combatants can look up at the screen right now and see these stats, but Murthel with his hand raised, he doesn't think these will matter. So does the aggressor win this fight or the man who landed more strikes? We're about to find out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, after 5 championship rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. Here now are their totals. Judge Gabriel Sabatis scores at 48-47, Doumbé. Judge Brian Pachillo scores at 48-47, Groenhart. And Judge Calvin Caldwell scores it 49-46 for your winner by split decision. And new glory welterweight champion of the world, Murthel!
He's done it, ladies
Here
and
to
gentlemen.
present the Glory Belt, Glory co-founder Scott Rudman, along with the Chief Executive Officer of Grunt